So I'll start with my long sentence. I was 16 years old, and I had just come back from a 3-week stint in the hospital after a really bad car accident. And my mother made me go to a party where there would be high school and college kids whose sole goal was to get stupid drunk and dumbass high. Trust me, she says, it'll be fun. She had a friend, Polly, her best friend, let her kids have an annual bash at their summer cottage in Howe's Neck, Quincy, Massachusetts. And she would stay at the cottage a couple of cottages down. And so she drove me down. It's about an hour from our house. And I kept thinking, you know, I don't really want to do this. My mom just thought because I was depressed. Well, of course I'm goddamn depressed. I've been in the hospital 3 weeks. And now I'm thinking these two people need to take parenting classes. So I get down there, and Polly, she walks me up to the house, makes sure her sons know that I'm there, and she leaves. And now, I love Jimmy and Johnny and all their cousins, but they're here to party hard, and I'm a liability. I have broken my right elbow, which was in a cast. I have broken my right knee, which is not in a cast, and I have one crutch. So I'm standing there for about 20 minutes or so. The music is really loud. I made everyone, you know, it's 1968. And so I walked down in front of the house, and I said, I don't know what to do. I got to do something. And that's when my crutch slips out from under me. And my knee buckles, and I hear the crack. And I am in incredible pain. Now, it was 1968, so 911 was not available in Massachusetts yet, and nobody in the house was anywhere near capable of driving me anywhere, including the adults in the cottage 2 doors down. So I stayed behind the kitchen. There was a little room, and they gave me some ice for my knee, and somebody found a couple of Valium in their back pocket, so I took that. So my mom had called my doc and told him what happened, and he said, well, she shouldn't have been partying. And I'm sure she didn't tell him that it was her. But, just ice, I'm sure it's just a sprain. So I spent 2 days in agony until my dad finally called the doc and said, meet me at the hospital. My daughter and I are coming in about 30 minutes. So turns out I was right, and I had surgery that night. So that doctor never apologized about his whole arrogance about this, and I decided right then and there I would never see a doctor again. So I went to college, you know, Planned Parenthood. We had nurse practitioners, and I didn't see another doctor. And then I had a couple babies. I had to see a couple doctors. And then I started training in triathlons, and my knee was killing me. So I decided, I know I'd have to have a knee replacement one day, but I was going on this massive healing journey. So I did chiropractic, cranial sacral, Feldenkrais, Alexander technique, Egoscue, Pilates, whatever. I've done it all. Now, I'm lucky. I think my Irish genes are obnoxious enough that it fights anything that comes within 2 feet of me. I've never had any kind of disease, knock on wood, and I never was in another accident, knock on wood. So then COVID happens. I did not get COVID, but I thought the best thing to do was to walk 5 to 10 miles a day, because why not? So turns out I had to have my left hip replaced. 4 months later, my right hip replaced. And during the first surgery, I woke up during it, surprising everybody at the table. And I did say a few choice words. They said, I didn't think anyone your age knew those words. It's like, that's ridiculous. So I was really afraid to do the second, but I did the second surgery. I had to if I wanted to walk again. So a month ago, I'm at a backyard event, and I want to go in the house to go to the bathroom. And I step up on this brick patio. It's the riser's a little high than I'm used to, and my knee buckles. And I pitch headlong into a plate glass door. And my left leg says, not on my watch. So it slams into the front of the brick riser, breaks my big left toe, but it gets me back up, and I'm standing straight. Somebody watched the whole thing, and she says, "How did you do that?" So I said, "Pilates." And so I walked casually off to the bathroom, closed the door, and I screamed silently for about a minute. And the next day I went to urgent care, and they put a boot on. I was a nurse practitioner. And I walked around the next day, and it was like my neck hurt, my back hurt. What fresh hell is this? And so somebody recommended I go see an orthopedist. I think about it, and my son, the doctor, but we don't speak of him anymore. And so I go to this orthopedist, and the first question I say to him is, this boot is going to cause me more problems, and why the hell would anyone put up with this shit? And he looks up at me, he's looking at my toe, and he says, yeah, you're right. It will cause you more problems. So I have waited to hear this my whole life. I have wanted these doctors to acknowledge that I've been working with this body and this damage for more than 50 years, and I know it like I know my name. I thank the doctor. He fitted me with a Teva-like sandal, unless on steroids or something, and he said, this should help. But I was heard, and I wish you all that gift. Thank you.